Hi, everyone. So we're back with round three of our first day. Um, wow, it's been a lot of great stuff already shown to you guys today. We got through all of my German resin and lucite, vintage and vintage inspired. And then we did the laser cut, which was totally fun. And so for this last stream of today, we're going to do vintage glass cabochons. And then we're going to finish off the day with my German lampwork beads. Um, so I hope everyone's ready for some pretties. Um, so I put the little postcard up there just to show you, just to remind you about the show special that we're doing and then the wholesale pricing. If anyone has questions about anything, feel free to send me an email. My email address is avamotherwell@aol.com. And just a real quick reminder, if you are watching on Facebook, you are welcome to comment in the feed with what you want to purchase. If you are watching on YouTube or looking at the photo albums on Flickr, then I need you to just make a list of what you want and send me an email. And the email again would be avamotherwell@aol.com. And so yeah, so that is all I have to say about that. And we're just gonna get started here with some vintage glass cabochons. I don't usually bring my cabochons with me to the shows, so this is kind of a treat to get to see them. Um, just got to line up all of my um, codes with the right colors. Okay, so this one is 28 millimeter. And just an FYI, in case you're interested, the little, so I have the millimeter on here, and then the little plus or minus at the end there. If there's a plus, that means I have in stock more than 10. If it's a minus, it means I have in stock 10 or less. So just so you know. Okay, so these are C95. They're $4 each, and they're 28 millimeter. And it's the back is completely flat, and it's a bright true orange, and then it has gold plating on it. So these are all vintage. Most of these cabochons were made anywhere from the probably 1950s to this 1970s. And they're mostly German, although I have a few Japanese and I think I have one that's Italian, and I'll try to point that out to you. So, so again, this one's 28 millimeter, orange with gold, and it's C95 is the code for those, and they're $4 each. And this is the same design, but it's a bright blue on the back, and then the coating has kind of a black and bronzy gold on there. And so there's a little minus there, so that means I have less than 10 of these available. Hi, Kathy. I see you're back. Okay, so this one is the same design, but it's black, and then it has gold inlay. And so this one is C95 and is $4 each. Okay, and here I have it with red. Let's see, let me find the code for the red. Here's the red. Okay, so this is red with gold. 28 millimeter, $4 each. Kathy, I'm wondering what Fab 22 is. It must be fantasy beads. I don't have any of her beads in stock. So you must be looking at something older, perhaps? Okay, so this one is bright blue with bright gold. And then we have a bright green with bright gold. These are cabochons, so there's no holes in them. They're meant to be set or glued into something. Okay, so the back of this one is white, and then the front is it's got the gold and kind of a black bronzy paint in there. And so these are old, so they're not going to change. You know, you don't have to worry about the paint coming off of these. It's already been on there for a long time. Oh, it's okay, Kathy, no worries. Okay, so this is white on the back, and then it's got sort of a platinum silver plating on there. 28 millimeter. And then this is the white with gold. So when I had my little half an hour break there, I laid down and stretched out my back, because it's funny how your back starts to hurt when you do this, because you're like holding yourself in a weird way. So I stretched out my back and I had a little snack, and I poured myself a half a glass of white wine. So I'm doing good. I hope everyone else out there in bead land are doing well. So this is an ivory back with the gold plating. I'm trying to get the detail in that video there. Okay, there, if I turn it slightly, you can see the detail. Okay, so this is a bright blue on the back, and it has a lighter blue paint on there to show up the detail. And this one's bright green on the back, and then that black and gold paint for the detail. And then here we have turquoise blue with the gold. I love turquoise and gold and coral and gold and coral and turquoise. Those are some of my favorite vintage colors. Okay, so this one is black on the back. And then the centerpiece is faceted, and then it's got gold detail on the side. So this one is C83. They're $4 each, 28 millimeter, and I have less than 10 of them. And they're vintage, so when they're gone forever. Nobody's making these anymore. Okay, so this one's white, and the center is faceted, and then it has the gold detail. Okay, now we have a bright jade green. It's kind of a sort of an opalescent to the glass. And so it's faceted in the center, and it has the gold detail around the edge. 28 millimeter. And this has got like a multicolor in there. I don't know if you can see, but there's like stripes of different. So when they used to make for this kind of glass, they would actually have to hand make the glass rods and draw all the different colors into the glass rods. Um, and so these are pressed, they're not lamp worked. So the glass rods are about an inch to an inch and a half in diameter. Okay, and then that has the gold paint around it. So that's a 28 millimeter. And this is a light blue with the faceted center and the gold. Okay, so this one is 18 millimeter. And the black is a bright sort of grass green. And then it's got these imprints in there that are painted with some green and gold and blue. Those are $3 each. And these capuchons that are painted were all painted by hand. So this one's ivory colored glass. These are glass. I think I mentioned that, but no, I'm not sure. So it's ivory glass, and then it's painted with the green and red and blue and gold, 18 millimeter. And so this is a blue glass that's painted with gold, copper, yellow, and red. And this one's white with gold and black paint, 18 millimeter. And again, it's completely flat on the back and there's no holes. Okay, so this one is a clear light sapphire, but it's etched. And that one is 18 millimeter. And those are $2 each. And this one's a navy blue that's got a little facet to it. The back of this one isn't perfectly flat. It's got a little dome and it's got a little half hole in it. So this one is black on the back and it's flat. And then it's painted with gold and silver. And those are 18 millimeter, $2 each. This one's called Watermelon. I think it's from Watermelon Tourmaline because it's the multicolors. So this has got, it's domed, so it's not flat on the back, and it's got foil, which is what gives it that shine. So it's got silver, blue, pink, and green, and those are $2 each, and they're 12 millimeter. So this is a foil back, flat, and it's got sort of golden tones to it, 25 millimeter, and those are $6 each. And then we have the same thing in a 35 millimeter, and those are $8 each. And so I have less than 10 of those. So this is flat and black on the back, and then the front is painted. So there's little flower designs, flowers and leaves that are painted on there, and it's a texture, so you can feel them. This one's 35 millimeter, and they're $6 each. And here's the same thing with the paint all in gold. This is the same design I was showing just a minute ago, with the facet in the center in the gold. And it's another multi-colored glass cane. 28 millimeter, the back is completely flat. And these are Italian, so these are Lampwork, made in Italy, and these are millefiori pieces that they melt into the glass. And these all come out a little bit different. Let me grab. Sorry, walked away there for a second, but like here's a bag of them, and so you can see that they're all a little bit different. And just so you know, I try to match as best I can for pairs. But these are vintage. They're probably from, I'd say, the 1950s, and they were made in Italy. And as you can see, I have probably about 30 of those. They're 22 millimeter, and they're $4 each. And those would be C78. Okay, so these are 22 millimeter, and these are flat on the back, and it's black with bronze, and those are $3 each. These are vitriol foil back, and these have a hole in the center, which I believe was originally they would set like a rhinestone in there, but you could do whatever you wanted. Those are 25 millimeter. They're scalloped on the edge, $6 each. So these are 18 by 15 millimeter, and it's kind of a beige with a little bit of pink in there. These are check glass. These are definitely some of my older ones, and it's a little flower design. I don't know if I can get that to show up on there or not. Maybe if I put a black. No, that's just not going to show up. Might have to take a look at the photograph on that one, but they're really beautiful. This one's a 15 millimeter square, but it's got a little bezel on the sides, black and white, multicolored. These are German, $2 each, C-69. And these are 18 by 14 millimeter, and it's black with little flowers. So this is like almost looks like a what do you call the sapphires, like with the eye in it? Kind of has that look to it, but it's black on the edge with the rich sapphire blue down the middle, and it's kind of a domed square, flat on the back, 12 millimeter, and these are $1 each. These are German. Same little design. Now this is really beautiful. It's got like a magenta and black and blue. Got a lot of coloring in there, which you may or may not be able to pick up. There's a lot of depth to it and a lot of weight. 12 millimeter, and those are $1 each. And this is a little jade green, kind of a opalescent glass, and those are 12 millimeter. And this one looks like tiger eye, but like the tiger eye you used to be able to get, not the tiger eye you see these days. And so it's square, domed, and flat back. And this is 12 millimeter, and they're $1 each. And those are German vintage glass. I'm gonna grab the bag of that one that I wanted to just serve. I don't know where it is right now. You know, I thought I was totally prepared, but there's only so much preparing you can do. Okay, so these are little ones. These are 10 by 8 millimeter little ovals, little opal glass. This is kind of a magenta pink with the flashes of the foil for the opal. And these are $1 each, flat back. And this type of cabochon, it's lampwork and then pressed. So a lot of detail goes into making these, or did go into making these. 10 by 8 millimeter. This is kind of cranberry in color with some foil in there. It's like a midnight blue, opally colors. 10 by 8 millimeter, $1 each. And then here we have a light blue, kind of a medium blue opal. 10 by 8 millimeter. It's flat on the back, oval. So this one is a little striped one. Black and white striped. There we go. It's 10 by 8 millimeter. And the white is inside, so it's got some depth to it. It must have some clear glass over it. And those are $1 each. That's a multicolored glass in deep purple. And this is a emerald green with foil. And this is white with multicolored foil flecks in there. 8 by 10 millimeter oval and it's flat on the back. And that's like a dark sapphire blue foil. Try to get these little suckers out. Okay, so this is a scarab print on there. So it's a pink marbled glass. These are made in Germany. And there's a scarab design on there. Those are 14 by 10 millimeter, and those are $1 each. And this is like a light blue with silver and white foil. This one is a dark cobalt blue. It's like it has a lapis texture to it. 14 by 10 millimeter. And that's like a multicolored sort of yellow and gray and olivey colors in there. And this one was actually made in the United States, but in the 1940s. Made in Providence, Rhode Island. Okay. So this is a little round one. It's just a rose print on there. 12 millimeter. And that's a pretty pink with a luster coating on it. 12 millimeter. And this one is like a magenta pink. 12 millimeter. That one's made in Germany. Okay, so these are these little roses. 10 millimeter, and this is a Montana sapphire blue. It's vintage from Germany, vintage glass. And this is a matted green. This has got a foil back. It's a rose, little rose print. And then we have the rose in a 10 millimeter in an emerald green. And then we got these little tiny ones. It's a flat back, little rose, little rosette. And those are 8 millimeter, and those are 50 cents each. And this little pink one, 8 millimeter, and those are 50 cents each. I have 3 more colors of those little pretty little tiny roses. They make a nice little stud earring. So this one is in white. And it's white and clear, so it's two-tone. And this is like a turquoisey aqua green, aqua blue. And then this is a little tiny Montana sapphire one. Now these are Japanese. These were made in Japan. And so we have the jade. It's a rose, and those are 14 millimeter. Those are $1.50 each. And then we have the pink. And turquoise. Now, these are not perfectly flat on the back. There's a slight dome on those. Just as a FYI. And then there's the lapis lazuli. Okay, so these are 18 millimeter. And they're it's transparent, but it's matted. Flat on the back. And this is the glass underneath is black, and then it's got a coating of sort of a yellow olive glass over it, and then it's matted. So there's a lot of depth to it. I have a matted army green. And an opaline magenta. And this one has the blue iris. Almost looks like a peacock design. The back is completely flat and black. Okay, one more tray of cabochons. This is a 25 by 18 millimeter. These are Japanese, and it's kind of an amber colored glass with foil, and those are $4 each. This one's German. It's a really rich red with foil, and the foil is kind of gold and copper colors. The turquoise texture. And coral. There we go with my turquoise and coral again. Okay, and here we have like a rose quartz pink, and it's pressed, but it looks like it's carved. A little flower design in there. And this one is from Japan. This one's German. It's a black and white. The rich rose quartz color. That one's German. An amethyst, 25 by 18 millimeter. And jade. Now to make these that have like this sort of speckled texture to them, they actually roll the glass in crushed glass of this color, and then they heat it up again to smooth it off, and that's what gives it that texture. I mean, it's smooth, so it's not a surface texture. The texture is inside. It's 25 by 18 millimeter, and those are $4 each from Germany. This one's got a lot of different colors in there. The base of it's turquoise, but then it has this foil in different colors. So it's got some rich coppers and golds in there. And it's flat on the back. This one is a little thicker, a little higher up than most of them. It's clear with silver foil, and it's 25 by 18 millimeter. And this is a scarab design. Scarabs were really popular in the 1920s, and then they came back again in the 1960s. So most likely these were made in the 1960s. This is like a true amethyst, dark amethyst purple, 25 by 18 millimeter, and those are $3 each. So this one is domed in the back. It has an indent, but then the edge is flat. And then the front is, it's got like a texture to it, which is all painted. Some of these are a little rough on the edges. There's a few little small chips in those. So that's just something to keep in mind. It's 35 by 24 millimeter, and those are $6 each. These are 25 by 12 millimeter, and it's black with some blue and purple striping. This is a very light sapphire blue, and it's got a little facet along the edge, and the back is foiled. And those are 20 by 14 millimeter, and they're $1.50 each. And I have it, the same one, in a light amethyst. And like a teal emerald green. I had to turn off one of my heaters. Getting warm in here. Okay, so this one's the cranberry. So this is 18 by 10 millimeter, and it's got silver foil. And those are $2 each. And this one is an emerald green with silver foil. It's kind of like a cranberry, multicolored. And then a fire opal. And here's a white opal, 20 by 14 millimeter. And it's got a foil back. And this one is cobalt blue, and it's got like a little flower bouquet. Those are $2 each. And this one is it's flat on the back. It's multicolored, black and red, white, blue. These here were also made in Providence, Rhode Island in the 1940s. So these are 25 by 8 millimeter. Some of these are a little rough on the edges. So here's a little Egyptian one. So these would have been from the 1960s. So it's red and flat on the back, and then it's painted with a green paint. It's 18 by 8 millimeter. The same little guy, but with a carnelian colored glass. More Egyptian 20 by 14. So this is a really pretty, it's 18 by 10 millimeter, and it's like a lapis lazuli, so it's really dark purple, but it's got the little specks of gold in there. These are $2 each, and it looks like I have more than 10. And here's an amethyst. Well, it's black with amethyst foil. And this one's it's an iridescent opal-y kind of fuchsia magenta. Pretty colors in there. So here's some more scarabs. This one's the pink, 18 by 14. The really dark red, almost like a brown red. A dark amethyst. And then the jade green. This is a really dark sapphire blue, and it's got a little rib design on it. It's a foil back, 18 by 14. And this is just it's white, but it's got some depth to it. So it's kind of an opaline white. Margaret, will you indicate, do you just want one? If you just, I'm going to assume with your code there, you just want one, which is totally fine. Just want to make sure. This one is black, and in the center, it's got this little multicolored foil. 16 by 12. And then this one is a really dark navy blue. There's a little design on there. Okay, just a couple more cabs, and that's going to be it on my vintage cabs. The fewer and fewer of them. I guess because I'm not getting more. Okay, so this is an emerald green foil back, but it's got like this little star print in the back, so it makes it a little extra shiny there. 16 by 10. And this has a flower design into it, red on the back, but there's bits of colored foil in there. A little elephant head. And this one is amethyst with little domes, little bumps. Okay, so this is 18 by 14. Really beautiful, multicolored pink tones. Kind of an olive green, dark olive green. Okay, great. Thank you, Margaret. I'll make a note of that. A green tourmaline. And Montana sapphire. Okay, so that was my vintage glass cabochon collection. Get these moved out of the way. And now I'm going to show you my beautiful collection of lampwork. And then tomorrow, okay, what do I got on for tomorrow? Tomorrow, I'm going to start off my first stream tomorrow will be Italian poly resin. And so it'll be carved, pressed, and layered resin pieces. And then my second video is going to be vintage glass buttons. And then my third video tomorrow will be vintage glass strands. So lots of fun stuff happening tomorrow. Okay, so this is my line. This is probably I would say this is my high-end line. These are all lampwork beads that are made in Germany. Each bead is made one bead at a time, and with a torch, and they have silver foil on the inside, and then the bead is matted, so they kind of glow from within. This shape is my small flat, and the small flats for the strand is $40. This color is called Green Adventuring. And then we have this is the large rounds. The large rounds are 12 millimeter. And then we have the small rounds, which are 9 millimeter. I have my price sheet here for all the different shapes. This one's the twist. This shape is great for earrings. A little drop. And those are 19 millimeter. And you get 6 beads on the strand, so like 3 pairs of earrings. And those are $48 for the strand. And we have little spindles. And then these are the round with foil. This color is more of a rich emerald green. And that strand is $56 for the 6 beads. So I know these are a little on the higher price range, but they are all handmade. Very unique. So this color is rose, ruby opal. And here we have the drop. And this is large oval melon. The large round, these are 12 millimeter. This is a foil, this one doesn't have foil in it. This is actually an opaline glass. And to make this and to get this fiery in there, they have to heat the glass up to 900 degrees. Small round twist and the small flat. This is the Montana Sapphire twist. Large round. The sapphire with the gold foil. Large flats. The large flats, they're 21 millimeter, and those are $50 for the strand. Small rounds. And the large tubes. The color is just so rich on these. These are the fuchsia. Large rounds. Large flat. Little hearts. The hearts are $42 for the strand of 6. And a twist. Small round. A drop. And these are melon. Now this strand, they're not matted, so it's a little more shiny. Kind of see the difference when they're side by side. I really love the matte, my favorite. I'll pull a couple more colors of these that will show up nicely. So this is, I call this color peacock, kind of a true emerald green. Margaret, I just love the ruby opals. I think you're gonna be really happy with them. They have so much flash of color and depth to them. This shape is called a rondelle, and they're 6 millimeter. These are spindles. Cubes. Cubes are 10 millimeter, and those are $56 a strand. Twists. And these are part of the wholesale too. So anyone with a resale license, it's part of that. And it's also part of the show special too. So keep that in mind. So aquamarine drops. Large round. Small round. Large flat. The large flats are $50 for 4. And this is like a robin egg shell blue with gold foil. And these are about 10 millimeter. Mexican opal. So it's like a really earthy tone in the center, and then it has all this flashes of color, of opal color in there. And those are the drops. The drops are 48 for a strand. And then the large flats. Large round. Small round. Cubes. And then this is the blue opal, which is kind of a turquoise green blue. And that's the twist. The large round. Drop. Small flat. And the large flat. And then the cobalt. Twist. Small flat. Large round. It's a really deep, rich, purpley cobalt. Small round. Large tube. And the drops. Bermuda blue, I only have 3 shapes in the Bermuda blue. This large kind of barrel oval shape. And those are $20 for the 2. And then the cubes. And the large flat. And then the labradorite, and again, it's glass. It's, you know, handmade Lampwork glass. It's not actual labradorite. But it looks a lot like the old labradorite we used to get. This is the twist. Small flat. Small flats are $40. Spindle, 42. Rondelle. cube, drop, and then this large barrel. And the barrel is 42 on these. A lot of color and flash in there. This is, we call it kiwi, but it's kind of like a bright peridot green. Small flat, drop, round, twist, small round. Okay, let's see, I got a couple more colors of the beautiful lampwork beads to show you. I can get them out of here. This one is citrine. It's like a real golden color. Large flat. Large round. Twist. Drop. Cube. I love the cubes in this color. The little rondelles. Lilac. In the large and the small flats. And the cubes and the spindle. And the drop and the small round. Okay, rose quartz. Now this is kind of a salmon peachy rose quartz. It's really, really rich and beautiful. The large round, small round. Small flat. Cube. And the drop. Okay, magenta. This one doesn't have a matte finish, so it's a little more shiny. The lentil shape. And then I have the large round and the small round. Large flat. And this is kind of I have it with the magenta ones, but it's kind of more of a soft cranberry color, and then it's got copper colored gold flecks in there. Really pretty. This one is not matted, it's a shiny finish. And then we have the rounds with the gold foil. Okay, I've got crystal and gray left in the, yeah, just the two more colors. So the crystal is really, it's really different because it's totally clear crystal, but since it has the foil on the inside and then the matte finish, it really kind of glows like a moon. So that's the, or like snow. So that's the large round and the small round. The large tube, the rondelle, the drop, and then the large flat. And the gray, but we actually call it black diamond. And we have the large flat, small flat, and rondelle. The drop, the cube, the large round, and then this really beautiful gray with the gold foil. So that's my Lampwork Yayan bead. I actually saw something pop up on Facebook. It was a Facebook memory of something I posted a few years ago of the cover of an old jewelry magazine from 1997. And the cover was a picture of my Yayan beads. So that was kind of fun. I've actually been having these made for me since 1992, so a long time. Originally, a lot of them were made with vintage glass, but the vintage glass is pretty much gone now. Okay, so that is just about wrapping it up for today. So just a couple of reminders. If you, everything that I showed today in all three of my videos can be seen. I've posted photographs on my Facebook wall, and they're all on Flickr. And you should have gotten an email from me today with a link for Flickr. And if you didn't, just send me an email to Ava Motherwell at AOL, and I will forward that to you right away. And so tomorrow I will start again at 10 a.m. Pacific time, which is 1 p.m. Eastern time. And tomorrow I will be showing you my Italian resin pieces, beads and pendants, carved, layered, pressed. And I'll be showing you vintage glass buttons and vintage glass strands. So that's what we have to look forward to for tomorrow. Thank you so much for everybody that joined me live and for all of the email orders that have come through. I really appreciate everybody. And I'll be back tomorrow with more wonderful goodies. Thank you so much and have a great night.